Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome back to another video. So for this video, we just released a Tassi first look and first impression video on the channel earlier, and afterwards AFK Journey just reviewed this Tassi trailer with the inclusion of Relentless Rumble and the GVG Clash Fronts. So in this video itself, there's also some new codes. So as usual, I will be putting all the codes in the comment section down below, so you guys can just copy paste the comments and then put it into the game itself. And then for the newer game modes, what we're going to do is we're going to run through them. GVG Clash Front is already available on the other account where I'm able to talk about the rules and how it looks like, so we're going to talk more about this later on. But without further ado, let's run through the Tassi teaser as well as the Relentless Rumble first look. Let's go.
Enemies within one tile.
Okay, so I was watching the trailer for a little bit, and first of all, they are talking about Tassi's skill. So all the percentages as well as the numbers, they are all available in the video, which I'll link in the card above. That's my Tassi first look. And for this part, we're gonna just look at the animation and understand her kit a little bit better.
Current health to deal damage and stun all nearby enemies within one tile. Afterward, she flies to the farthest enemy and hits the surrounding enemies with the same effect. But the second hit on the same enemy does a bit less damage. Okay, so this is her second skill, which is a little bit like Dark Willow's boosted attack, or some people might call it the kamikaze style. So she consumes a little bit of her HP and then dive to the furthest enemy to deal damage to the enemy as well as all other enemies in that area. So she goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and right, like I mentioned earlier, or like mentioned by Chippy here, the second time she goes to the same enemy, the damage dealt is a little bit lesser. But right, you might think that this mage character actually goes in and out, in and out. Isn't she vulnerable to being killed? She has an inbound skill in her third skill, which they will showcase later. Her third skill, Fluttering Dream, lets her transform into a butterfly form after she loses a certain amount of health. In her butterfly form, Tassi becomes invincible, heals every second, and damages all nearby enemies within one tile for a short time. Keep in mind, though, there's a limit on how many times Tassi can use Fluttering Dream in one battle. Her
Okay, so that's her third skill, the self-survival skill. So if she falls low enough, she transforms into that butterfly state to recover HP, becomes inbound, deal damage all at the same time. So at the base level, the skill has 2 attempts or 2 lives. And with the Supreme Plus ability, she's able to actually revive off this skill multiple times every time she kills or assists in a kill against an enemy. Okay, so that's the self-protection mechanics combined with the kamikaze style jump in and do damage to the enemy. So now this is the ultimate
skill, Eternal Dreamscape, summons a dreamscape that lasts for a while, putting all enemies into a hypnotized state. Enemies that are hypnotized can't move and take continuous damage. Once she unlocks her exclusive skill, Shimmering Dust, Tassi becomes even more unstoppable in the dreamscape. After using her ultimate skill, she gets a speed boost and takes less damage for a limited time. Also, once her exclusive skill is unlocked, Tassi can use her second skill, Dream Dance, on enemies that are hypnotized without any cooldown or health cost.
She's a mysterious fairy of dreams.
Okay, so that's for Tassi's skill description. So based on some of the replays shared by some players with Supreme Plus Tassi, as well as some description about the hero from different players who have experience with her, I think this character is going to be, I'll say, decently impactful in PvP. Whether or not to pull for her, as usual, I'll say wait for a little bit more testing before we give our final verdict. Okay, so that's for Tassi. And next, let's move on to the next new content. So let's continue.
The vibe that's totally dreamlike.
Maybe you'll have to meet Grandpa Almas first before you get the chance to see Tassi.
Okay, so that's the first code. Journey with Tassi. 50 gems with 20,000 gold.
And Rustport starts to come back to life. We could use this chance to throw the fall carnival. Who knows? Maybe Tassi will join in. With all the new friends we've made in Rustport, it's the perfect time to gather everyone together. I was thinking, maybe we could even invite some members of the Water Whites to join the celebration? Actually, not all of the Water Whites are ruthless thugs, but turning over a new leaf isn't easy. Al, one of the Water Whites, puts out reputation quests every day. Complete them, and you'll earn reputation points. Okay,
so for this part, I'm not gonna run through this. Basically, this is already discussed by me. But with regards to this game mode, I'm just gonna exit this one first. We're gonna come back to this one later. So with regards to the Water Whites clan reputation, this is the Clash core. So right here, clan reputation, you can just access it from the clan reputation under your missions tab. I think you have to finish one quest within the story quest itself to unlock the clan reputation. So it's just a daily mini game kind of thing, and these are all the different rewards we will get. Okay, so EXP tome, as well as your season essence, as well as brand new artifacts, gems, as well as gold, and also the velvet vouchers itself. Okay, so these are all the different stuff for the clan reputation. So we start off with the Water Whites one first. So 1 mission per day, you can stock up to 3 daily quests. Okay, so similar to all the past clan reputations. And let us move on to the next part. Okay, so right here, we're gonna move on. So skip. So this one is a costume, I think. Yeah, this is the costume. So the bandana that will be given to you once you reach that, I think, middle point threshold. Let me just check a bit. Right, once you reach the bonded, then once you reach the bonded plus, you'll get a full set, the costume as well as the headwear. Okay, so next, let's move on to the new primer lot. Let's see whether or not anything new is mentioned here.
Maybe not the crazed shell brute Magister Merlin will be facing soon.
Okay, CC program, 100 gems and 10,000 gold. So all the codes will be down there.
This primal lord, the Relentless Rumble will also give Magister Merlin a fresh challenge.
Oh wait, I skipped the shell brute, I think.
Not the
second chance.
Oh, they just briefly talked about it. Okay, crazed shell brute, nothing much to talk about yet because the kit hasn't been revealed. So we wait until the kit of the boss is revealed before giving our first look and talk about the boss itself. Okay, so next, let's move on. Relentless Rumble time.
Will also give Magister Merlin a fresh challenge. In the Relentless Rumble, Magister Merlin can take on a series of fights, each with a normal mode and an endless mode. In the normal mode, all Magister Merlin needs to do is defeat every enemy. But in the endless mode, the score depends on how many kills are racked up within the time limit. By completing tasks, Magister Merlin can earn Rumble Marks and various item rewards. Collecting enough Rumble Marks will unlock some exciting progression rewards. What's more, Magister Merlin doesn't have to face these challenges alone. Teaming up with other Magisters...
Wait. Wait. Okay, so Relentless Rumble was discussed in the version 1.22 upcoming new contents. So we are able to have a first look at this game mode, and I think personally, take a look at this game mode. I think it should be manageable in terms of the game understanding itself. So it's more of what's the hidden conditions, or what are the buffs that are applied to some of the characters to maybe make them a little bit better or encourage some strategy variations. So that's for Relentless Rumble. They say that there's some exclusive rewards, but the normal invite letter up there ain't exactly that exciting, but I digress.
Exciting progression rewards.
It's exciting progression rewards.
Magister Merlin doesn't have to face these challenges alone.
Okay, so this one is the GVG mode, Guild versus Guild, Clash Fronts game mode. Okay, so a little bit more. Let's talk about it first. I mean, let's take a look at this first.
Teaming up with other Magisters will make tackling enemies easier.
Teamwork will also be the key in Clash Fronts, where cooperation will be crucial to success. Clash Fronts will last for 4 weeks, with 1 round taking place each week. 4 guilds of the same rank will be grouped together. Once the match starts, guild members will be able to take 1 action each day and assign teams to different territories on the battlefield. After the assignment phase ends, a free-for-all will begin, and the last guild standing on each territory will claim it and earn points. After 4 rounds, guilds will be ranked based on their points, and rewards will be handed out accordingly.
Okay, so AFK Journey 1.22 update.
It seems there's always a new adventure or a challenge waiting for us in this land.
From the crazed shell brute to Clash Fronts.
Challenge not on
Okay,
that
so that's
warm
pretty
harbor.
much it. Tassi is coming to the global site on the 17th of October, so about 2 days from this video's recording. And let us jump into the GVG site where we have a preview of how it looks. So let's go into Battle Modes and into Clash Fronts. Okay, so right here, this is how the battle or the selection stage looks like. So I think I ran through the basic rules for a little bit, but I'll just run through a little bit here. So there's actually different phases. There's the Vanguard skirmish phase and the free-for-all phase. So winning either of this will give you the occupation points, which will decide your rankings at the end. And with regards to the different stages, we start off at the deployment stage, where we deploy our heroes in different groups. So that is a 2-day period, as I mentioned earlier in the first look video. And then there will be the battle phase and then the final phase to decide the points itself. Yeah, so right now we are at the second phase. So the first phase is the formation over here. So once you are done with your group setup, so this is the 3 teams that I'm using. Once you are locked in with this, you can't modify the groups. Basically, this will be the 3 teams that you feel for your different battles over here. And your guild leader will be able to select the Vanguards right here. And then your Vanguards will be able to participate in the Vanguard skirmish right here. So this is the Vanguard skirmish. So I think from now what I can see is I'm only able to deploy either at Battlefield 4 over here or Battlefield 3 over here. So this is 外围战场3. So we are able to deploy any number in anywhere. So I think it's dependent on the particular strategy for your guild. So I'm just going to deploy everything here. Because just now, as mentioned by the video itself, if your guild is able to occupy the territory, you will be able to get more points. So right here, there's this occupation point description. It's in Chinese, but I'll just translate it for you guys. 占领积分通过如下经获得. Okay, so you get occupation points from your Vanguard skirmish victory. You get occupation points by occupying the specific area right here. And once the Vanguard skirmish finishes, the battle for the Vanguards itself, you will be able to get the occupation points straight away. For the free-for-all stage, right? Your free-for-all stage points accumulation will be calculated at the end of each phase. Okay. So the total score for this occupation point will be calculated after the different battle phases. Okay, interesting. So I think based on what we can see right now, as normal members, we will be able to deploy the groups over here. And then we will be able to fight the battle and occupy the territory. And then later on, there's another phase over here. So this one will check out all the battle reports as to how much points we got, whether or not we got the space, and then the different battle results as showcased by Chippy just now on the video itself. And then there will be the next round. So apparently there's 4 different rounds per battle or per cycle itself. So I guess that's how it works, right? You go into formation and then you go into the deployment and then battle, and then next round rinse and repeat 4 times. And that's where you get ranked over here, and this will be the point system. Right, so 积分中过. Okay, so this is how the different ways to get the occupation point. So you can only deploy your teams or your different groups into the spaces where you held onto and it's close by. So for example, I can't deploy myself to this one. As you guys can see, you cannot deploy any groups on the current battlefield because we don't have any of this tile linked yet. So we need to either get this or this in order to touch onto the middle 4 tiles. Okay, so for those of you guys who are slightly more hardcore for guild related contents, or you want to do really well for GVG, you can start thinking about how to strategize in terms of the teams as well as how you want to tackle this game mode specifically. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. Just a simple showcase of GVG as well as the Tassi showcase, the 3 different codes, as well as the brand new upcoming game mode, Relentless Rumble. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.